And now let's take our weekly look into the archives in this week's edition of Retrospect. We start our look back in time in 1992 with the story of a one-man oil company south of Lloydminster.
Sparkon Petroleum may sound like a major company, but in reality it's just 30 wells and a pair of oil batteries on a farm south of Lloydminster, and it's a one-man operation.
The income from the oil and the grain makes farming almost profitable.
Barry Ranger is an entrepreneur with interest in the computer industry, farming, and as of 2.5 years ago, oil, when Mobil began to pull out of the Lloydminster area.
We were faced with a situation there where they were going to abandon the wells, which would mean lost revenue to the farm. And at the time our position was, well, because of my background, my experience with the oil, I felt that we could at least earn as much as we would have got from lease rentals on the wells by operating the wells.
Ranger runs 8 to 10 of his 30 wells and contracts local service companies to do maintenance and haul the oil. The wells generate as much as $300,000 a year, 90% of which is returned to the local economy. And while the major oil companies are faced with scaling back their operations, there's a big opportunity for local entrepreneurs to get involved in the industry.
Rather than having them abandoned, if the farmers, the municipalities, and the oil people could get together, we could keep these wells at a stripper operation and see our oil industry continue, not flourish and maybe not grow, but at least continue for many years, because there's lots of oil in place.
And as we move the calendar forward to 1997, we have the comeback story for Vermilion Packers.
Dogs eat small dogs. That's about all. And we are hurting, very hurting.
During the hog price war in February, Martin Rijevec was uncertain about the future of Vermilion Packers. The small operation could not compete with the $24 a hog premiums Maple Leaf and Fletcher's Fine Foods were offering. The coolers were empty, and they were forced to lay off 7 of their 11 employees. However, all that changed the day after the price war ended. The cooler started to fill, and now Rijevec is understaffed.
We could handle probably 500 head. But we need more people.
The demand from stores has risen dramatically since Maple Leaf Foods closed their Edmonton plant. Vermilion Packers is changing to accommodate that increased demand. They will slaughter 3 days a week instead of 2. That's not the only change. The building has been given a facelift as a result of the booming business, and things could be even busier. However, Rijevec says they have always served their loyal customers first, and nothing has changed.
We look after our old customers. The customers that they were supporting us for the last 5-10 years, we're looking after them first, and then everybody else comes second, I guess. That's the way it should be.
Fingers have been pointed in every direction in the wake of the Edmonton closure. Rijevec has his own opinion of who's to blame.
When the government took that plant over, and I'm not sure how many years ago, from Peter Parkington, they should have sold it instead of rent it out. That's the reason that he walked out of there. If he would have paid for the plant, he would never walk out of there. But he didn't, so he walked out.
Michael McCain, you're saying?
Right on.
Rijevec says he feels sorry for Maple Leaf's Edmonton employees. However, the closure has improved business, and everyone agrees it's a much happier situation here at Vermilion Packers than 8 months ago.
And that does it for this week's edition of Retrospect. As we shift into sports, the Lakeland Wrestlers Hockey Club have wrapped up the first half of their season a few weeks ago. But that hasn't stopped them from holding a fundraiser this past weekend. The Wrestlers partnered with the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation for the second consecutive year as part of their Hockey Fights Cancer game on Saturday. The purpose is to raise funds towards the Health Foundation. Players from the current hockey club and even former players were in attendance as part of a great cause.
Once again, choosing the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation and our cancer and chemo. It is the season that we are a little bit more gracious in the things that we do, obviously leading up to Christmas. So extremely grateful on behalf of myself, our staff, and the foundation board as well.
Just being a part of the community and showing they care and want to be involved. And so I was really glad to be involved with it too, because I'm proud of the girls and all the other ladies that jumped in and played. It's a fantastic event.
Money that was raised during Saturday's game will be going towards the Health Foundation's chemotherapy and cancer fund. And now as we head to the break, let's take a look at our Pet of the Day photo submissions. We're starting a new week, so we want to remind you that you can head over to our Facebook page and post a photo of your pet with their name for a chance to win a Pet Pad gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Nicole Terrio with the Border Paws Animal Shelter. Thank you once again for taking another day out of your week to be able to join us today, Nicole.
Not a problem.
Really glad to be able to have you on here and help get the word out with the 2022 jail and bail, because, I was a part of it. It was a great time. I think everybody had lots of fun. Now, what was the goal and what did you reach exactly? Just for people out there that may not be aware of how successful this event was.
So I don't have the exact numbers yet. I haven't talked to my accountant yet, but I know that we did do over 37,000. So just waiting for the final numbers, and hopefully we will have that by the end of today.
For the silent auction, how did that kind of turn out from seeing how strong that support has been?
It was amazing. So it ran till Sunday, and I know a few people who were actually bidding right till the last minute. I know from the feedback I got it was a lot of fun, that competition aspect of it.
And from your perspective and all the other staff with, Border Paws Animal Shelter, how did it feel to see how strong that support was for this year's jail and bail?
So it was overwhelming, right? It was so great to see. We haven't been able to do it in person for a few years now. So to see how much the community came together, everything was donated, from the food to the silent auctions, the jailer's time. I know you donated some of your time, Shelby, which we appreciated. So the response was just overwhelming to see the community come together, and just to see the amount of money come in is crazy. I believe this is the most that Jail and Bill has ever made.
And I know you were saying you're still waiting to hear about the proceeds and whatnot, just to finalize for this year's jail and bail. But is there already some big plans being made for next year's jail and bail event, just because of how successful this one was?
Yeah, so we will definitely be officially in our new building next year. So we'll have way more animals to participate too, as well as a little more space, because we'll have different dog rooms and not be all in one room. But yeah, no, we've already started talking about it, and we're going to try to go for an even higher goal next year. And yeah, again, just reach out to everybody. And I believe the response is going to be even better, because we'll actually be in our new building.
Now, with the new location, I know a lot of people were able to come in and check it out. So what's kind of the plan now with the new location and the new building, just being able to set up in there?
So yeah, we have just a little bit of construction left to do. So we are hoping that in the new year, sometime in January, hopefully we can actually open our doors. Still got a lot of work to do with finishing the construction, and then just the move itself. Whatever animals we still have in our care will need to be moved over, all our supplies, all our food. So if anybody wants to volunteer when it does come to moving time, we will definitely be reaching out to the public. If anybody wants to come help move some critters, that would be amazing.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to add, Nicole, like just on kind of the wrap from the jail and bail and the silent auction and what all happened?
Yeah, so it was an amazing day. I believe everybody had a lot of fun. I know me personally, I had so much fun. It was so nice for people to come and see our building and see that it's actually happening. So I guess just thank you to, the donors, the jailers, all the restaurants that got the food, all the people who donated silent auction items, and just the community for supporting us. It was absolutely amazing to see, and we are so thankful they got us that much closer to getting into our new building.
Awesome, Nicole. Well, myself, I had a blast being able to do this year's Jail and Bail, and I know a lot of the other jailers did too. So it was a great time. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. And I really wanted to help get the word out and help spread just how successful this year's event was. And a big shout out to everybody in the Lloydminster community for helping out.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm happy to be joined with the Imam from Betul Aman Mosque, Saqib Safar. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. Once again, Abby, thank you.
Of course. Now, today, our topic is on a campaign that the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Organization across Canada has put on called Million Pounds of Food Campaign. Tell me a little bit about what this campaign is and how you guys are involved in it.
Okay, so I'll briefly give a background of what this is. Mercy for Mankind. This is a title given to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the Holy Quran by God. So this is our belief that he was a mercy for mankind. So under that banner, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Organization of Canada, they have planned to collect 1 million pounds of food. And the purpose of that, again, is to basically gather as much as possible and give it to the local food banks and the charities across Canada. So this is a campaign that is being run all throughout Canada, not just here in Lloydminster. And so we're collecting foods from the members of our community, right? And at the same time, I just want to mention that yesterday we held a mosque open house, Explore Islam Mosque open house, and we had members of the emergency services, paramedics, 3 of them actually, they came and they had also brought some food donations as well. So we're extremely grateful and thankful to them as well for their services and for this help that they've done.
That's awesome. Now, this is kind of like a food drive. So how can community members get involved, and what is kind of the process of where they can drop off the food donations or the foods that you are accepting and things like that?
Okay, so it's basically non-perishable food items. So they can be cereal boxes, lentils, dry foods, food cans. So something along the lines where they don't have to be refrigerated in order to be kept proper. So that entire process of basically us receiving those products and basically giving it back to the communities during those few days, the items don't go bad. So that's the purpose behind it. And this campaign is being run up until December 31st. So we will be doing this. We will be doing door-to-door visits. If we receive a call from anyone that they would like to donate and they would like us to come by to their door, we can definitely go and pick it up. But at the same time, if anybody wishes to drop by and come visit the mosque, they can call, they can just Google Betul Aman Mosque, right? And our number and the address will show up. So they can call and come at any time that they want, or whenever they're driving by on the 50th street, they can give, if they see any car, they can just knock the door and just we'll take the items then. The best way would be just search Betul Aman Mosque, and from there we can arrange a time and definitely pick it up.
That sounds amazing, and especially in this time, we're around the holidays season. So, the families, this is the time when families, really show how struggling they are, and having something like this on top of other food campaigns, it just gives more back. And so what is the importance for you guys to get involved with this bigger campaign that is Canada-wide?
So like I mentioned, this is being run under the banner of Mercy for Mankind. And we believe one of the fundamental teachings of Islam and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is showing mercy to mankind in one way or another. This is just one of the campaigns, Million Pounds of Food. This is just one of the ways that we're trying to give back to the communities, the needy people, less fortunate people. There are many others that we do. For example, Meals on the Wheel. So this is a campaign that was done, I think last year or the year before. And the purpose of that was to basically go prepare food items in small boxes, right, that you can eat right away, and go out and find any during winter breaks, right, and find homeless people and basically share those foods with them and make sure that they get hot meals and they're able to benefit from that aspect. And then at the same time, we had a shelter bus during the time of winter when COVID was happening, and then there were a lot of homeless people at the time as well. This was in Toronto. We had a shelter bus, and we would park it overnight near downtown somewhere, and make sure that the heating is running. So anybody, literally anyone who wanted to come and stay the night or spend some time there, warm up, have food. So those sort of things that we do under the banner of Mercy for Mankind. And this is being run by the youth of our community, members who are basically from the ages of 15 to 40. So they are basically organizing it. They're making sure that all of these tasks and work is being done.
That's amazing. Now, you did mention that this is running to December 31st. You guys are collecting food. After that, what is the process on how it's getting distributed and where is it going?
Okay, so we are not, what we're going to do is not hold on to it until the 31st. So as the items start to come in, and we've already started receiving some, as they're coming in, we'll try and basically go to different places. There's a homeless men's shelter here, Olive Tree, we can go there. And also we will be paying a visit to the First Nations reserves as well, and check with the chiefs if they're in a requirement of such items that they can use, and if they have families or people that they can give it to, and we will be giving it out to them as well.
That's
so
awesome.
Different ideas that we have planned. And again, we're open to ideas. If other people have ideas or suggestions regarding this, who we should be giving it out to, more than welcome. We'll be happy to take such suggestions and do what we can.
That's awesome, being able to go to different organizations, not just a specific one, and cater to everybody who may need it, who may be in need. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And I wish you the best of luck with this, because it is an amazing campaign, especially since it is Canada-wide. It's going to affect so many people, which is fantastic. You know, million pounds of food is a lot of food. So it's amazing that there's something like this to add on to different food banks as well, just to give them a little more for families. So thank you so much for joining me today.
All right, thank you so much for having me, Abby.
Taking another quick look at your 7-day forecast for here in the border city. As I was saying, we will be cooling down tomorrow with -19 for that daytime high, seeing a mixture of some sun and clouds. So hopefully, you know, feeling that sun outside will help just a little bit. But don't worry if you keep pushing through, because Wednesday and Thursday, we will be warming up nicely to -5 Wednesday and -8 Thursday. So even seeing those single-digit temperatures, but then we will be cooling it right back down for the weekend. Unfortunately, -16 Friday, and seeing around 2 to 4 centimeters of some flurries of some snowfall. And then we will be cooling down Saturday and Sunday, and not seeing too nice of days either. So make sure to, you know, definitely take advantage Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy those nice temperatures, because we will be cooling starting off next week.
Thanks so much for that, Shelby. You love taking us on the weather roller coaster. There's been a lot of highs and sadly a lot of lows. That does it for our show on this Monday night. Thank you for starting your week with us, and we'll see you again tomorrow.